Hi, I'm Mrs. Math of Mr. and Mrs. Math. Today I have for you another lesson in the fractions series, this one dealing with equivalent fractions. As you may have seen from my other videos, there are multiple ways to show and visualize or to figure out whether or not fractions are equivalent. In this particular case, I'm going to use geometric shapes and a number line. As you can see in the picture in front of you, I have 3 sets of geometric shapes and then 1 set of number line. Here I'm going to go ahead and number my first circle, and there are 4 equal sections, which means my denominator is 4. And then using the red, I'm going to fill in 1 section which correlates to the number 1, the numerator. Here I go into the second half of the pair, and I have 3 sections which corresponds to the denominator, and then I'm going to fill in once again 1 section relating to the numerator of 1. These fractions are not equivalent, as you should be able to see visually from the circles. Moving on to my next set are rectangular shapes, and this first one I'm going to number 1 through 6, as there are 6 equal sections. The second rectangle has 8 equal sections, so I will be numbering that 1 through 8, which is the denominator. Now I'm going to fill in, based on the numerator, the first numerator is 2, so I'm going to fill in 2 sections, and the second, coincidentally, is also 2. So they're also filled 2 sections. These fractions are also not equivalent. Moving on to the third set. The first circle has been divided into 8 equal parts, and so I'm numbering those 1 through 8. And the second circle is divided in half with 2 equal sides. In red, I'm going to take the 1/2, oops, sorry about that. I'm taking the 1/2 and going to color in 1 side, which corresponds to the numerator. And in this first fraction, I am coloring in 4 sections to correspond with the numerator 4. These 2 circles show equivalent fractions. They both show 1/2. On this first number line, I'm numbering 1 through 3 on the sections between the tick marks. That is our denominator, and so I'm putting that on the bottom of our fraction line. Now I'm adding the numerator, and I'm starting with the 0 and then going with the 1, 2, and now the 3 over 3. On my second number line, I'm going to count the sections between the tick marks again, and I have 6 equal sections, which means my denominator for all of my fractions along this number line is going to be 6. Then I grab the red color, my numerators are always red. Starting at 0, I'm going to add that on the top of the number line. As you can see, it corresponds to the number of each section that we had already written on our number line. I want to point out to you that 0 over 3 is equal to 0, and that 0 over 6 equals 0. 1 equals 3 over 3, and 1 equals 6 over 6. I'm using this yellow color to point out visually how these tick marks line up. That means that these are equivalent fractions, and I'm going to circle those for you also in the yellow color. So the zeros are equivalent. 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6. And then 3/3 is equivalent to 6 over 6. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mr. and Mrs. Math. See you next time.